What's up, YouTube? This is Sea-Dog back with another Transformers The Last Night review. This is on the Tiny Turbo Changer Series 2. And actually, you'll see by the choices of the figures, now there's not doubles, and now they're the good choices, that I actually did pick these out, and I knew what I was getting when I got them, or at least I had a pretty good idea. And I did do the review as I was opening them, but the audio came out messed up, so I can't give you that. I'm sorry. It was going to be part of the review, but we got a different type of review for you. But I'm just going to show you anyway. Series 2, this is the packaging. As you can see, they have been opened. Tiny turbo changers, so the same type of packaging as before. And I can't tell you about the codes because I don't know if it still works, but I assume. And one of the things is when you look it up online, they don't explain that it's the punched in numbers. They just say the code. Well, there could be a code here, it could be a code there, they could be talking there. What they're talking about is these punched in numbers and the letter before that. And it's really hard to read those sometimes. Like this one, I think is an A. Maybe. You see, you can't even read it really. So your best bet is to look in these windows. There's a little window there. We'll give you a little example here because we got Bumblebee and he's not really giving anything away. I did pick him on purpose. There's two of them there. But you go like that, you get the color. You look online on your phone and just to see what's in that series, and you go like that. But without further ado, let's get right into the review. Alright, so here's the first one that we're going to show off. This is actually Autobot Cogman, and this is what you get, little thing, Series 2, Cogman, Transformers The Last Night, and then you get a little transformation instructional inside with some small print on this side. It just says reverse order to convert back and things like that. But checking out Cogman himself, he's got some black painted windows, but nothing on the windshield itself, which is a little strange, but you know, it's probably because there's hinges. One thing about Cogman also is he's kind of gappy, but there is a way to kind of get them squeezed together. See, like that. But if you're putting them together, you have to kind of wiggle with them. He has painted wheels. So, checking out those wheels. Let's see if we can get. There we go. There's some detail there, and you got a spoiler, and not too much detail. A little bit soft on the sculpts, but I guess it's kind of the way it is. You have a little bit of dents kind of here in the plastic, kind of that ripply plastic almost. So, but pretty cool regardless. So to transform Cogman, you just flip him around, you flip this up, and then you wiggle at his arms, just gently. And they do swing forward with a little bit of hindrance. If they had made this spoiler flip back, that would have made a huge difference, but they didn't. But that's okay. Cogman is wicked funny in The Last Night. For anyone that hasn't seen The Last Night, please go watch it. And if you like the movies, you're going to love it. So yeah, that's Cogman. Checking out his details. He looks really cool. It's got the little clock kind of details here on his chest. Split chest there. He's got that same kind of detail. And you can actually hold the little weapons and stuff in there. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Painted blue eyes, and other than that, in robot mode, nothing else. You have this kind of so he can hold himself up. So that's Cogman. Alright, so continuing on, we have Megatron from The Last Night. So he's pretty cool. He actually looks kind of like the Jet does in the movie. So that's cool. The arms kind of fold up here. You got some pretty cool details though. We have some molded details on the cockpit and the canopies right here. You can see the cockpit, and no detail is spared. You got some details here from the lines molded on the thrusters. Very cool. And then to transform Megatron, you just take his arms down and then flip him 180 like this, and then you take the cockpit and flip it up on his back, turn him around, and now he's got posable arms, and he's got painted gray arms as well as painted red eyes. Decepticon symbol molded on his chest. pretty cool. You can't really, he doesn't have a cannon other than maybe you can kind of mimic those as a cannon and maybe a pitcher or something, but not really. But still, nonetheless, it's cool. He's got his face mask opened up. Taking a look at this, my thing is, I'll show you really quickly, is kind of up, so it's like hanging up. I don't know why it's doing that today, but it is. So therefore Megatron's not going to be able to stand, because it's, you know what I mean, he's kind of weird anyway about standing. If you put his arms forward, that's probably the only way he's going to stand. But checking this out, see Series 2 Megatron, and there's this transformation scheme, just like I showed you. So, moving on. Right, so next up we have Decepticon Shockwave, and this is actually the official way. You can see that they have the molded treads for the bottom, and then he's got the blank feet that you can actually see the stamps there, Hasbro and whatnot. And then his arms fold up like that, so you have the cannon, kind of like they do on the toy, on the Voyager. And yeah, so you can also do it this way, and that's the way I've seen it in the pictures online, and that gives you some more details. It's not correct, but it gives you some more details. But it comes with this little, just like the rest, Decepticon Shockwave Series 2, and you got the little transformation scheme. Alright, so to transform Shockwave, he would normally be like this. You just reverse his waist 180, pull down his feet, and pull his arms to the side. And flip him a 180 around, like that. He's now got ball-jointed arms, so you can kind of go in and out a little bit, and all the way around. He's got a silver painted cannon. Nice molded details here on the chest. His chest plate is painted in kind of a brown, gray, kind of a matte brown gray. He's got a Decepticon symbol molded in the center. So not bad, not bad. He's got the mandibles there painted silver, as well as around his red painted eye. He's got waist swivel as well, and feet will move a little bit, so you can probably do nothing to do with posability unless you have some kind of weird thing like this. So I guess, yeah, you can use it for posability. But yeah, so that's Shockwave. Taking out the back of him, so you can get some molded details in the back. It's got 2 molded on the back of his head. It's interesting. Treads molded on the back. You can see where the swivel is. So that's Decepticon Shockwave. Next up we have Autobot Bumblebee. It's actually just labeled Bumblebee. He's in the Series 2 version. I don't know if it's the same thing as the first one. I don't know if the darkness was on the roof, but it should be on here. I don't know if the first one has it on here, or if it doesn't have any, or if this is new, or what. I don't know, because I never saw Series 1 out. There's this transformation scheme. Check it out. This is the new Camaro, because you can see the fins there. Oops, let's go back a little bit. The kind of vents there painted, or not painted, molded on his, right above his wheel fender. You can see some of the details there molded on. He's got the spoiler. He's got painted windshield and side windows, as well as this kind of roof. But it should be painted here. I wonder if they originally had it painted there, and then something in the factory messed it up. You can see some of the details there painted on, or molded on. Molded on. He's got painted tires as well. So, which is weird, because I don't think these are molded on, but yet they left the little circle. So I'm not sure why they did that when they didn't here, but they did. So to transform him, you just flip his arms out a little bit, like that, and then you pull down part of the car. Now he's got ball jointed arms. Not really, it doesn't really have much range. You can get a little bit of range. He's got a waist swivel, and his foot will move a little bit, but you can see some of the details there. Got molded on details on his arms. He's got some black paint on his chest and abdomen. You can see those kind of rivets there painted along and molded. Silver painted face with light blue eyes, and he's got that crest painted black, kind of like the Age of Extinction version. He does stand, so you can get him to pose a little bit and do some fun stuff there. I got these for $1.99 each. They were labeled $3.99, but they had a sale, 50% off. Which is weird because these were brand new in stock, and no one in Mike Down has ever gotten this tiny turbo changers at all. Not Series 1 or nothing. Then you just revert them back to car mode. So, that is Bumblebee. Moving right along, we have Autobot Drift. He's got a little bit of tear in his Series 2 Autobot Drift, tiny turbo changers. There's his transformation scheme. Looks like there's some kind of pulling up gimmick. Huh. I'll have to check that out. And checking out some of the details there. Got some molded details for his bumper and his lights. His wheels are painted fully black. That's good. He's just got his side windows painted. He's got a hinge here on the front one. Although they could have made it around like that. They didn't. He's got a spoiler molded on a little bit. And that's Drift. He's supposed to be a black car, and they could have got away with it because there's this robot, but they didn't. But I guess we could do that ourselves, you know. But to transform him, you flip this up, you pull this out. It said something about pulling up. I don't know what that was, but I don't really think that really it meant anything because it doesn't seem to do anything. But it looks like he's just like Cogman. Just flip this back, that holds him. He's got his arms. And he's got some painted gold paint on his face. And he's got an Autobot symbol molded on his chest. You can see the car details molded on the chest as well. He's got that armor molded on his shoulders. I wonder if DeCaro would paint these up, they'd look a lot better or something. Going in a little bit closer. Not bad, not bad. Keep in mind I actually went for these. My audio got screwed up, so my opening up of the packaging was, unless you wanted to see it, I might have like a little clip on it, real short, edited together or something. But that's Drift. He's got some details here on his legs as well. Not bad. Autobot Drift. And then, last but not least, the one we all been waiting for, Autobot Sqweeks. Bam! I managed to get myself an Autobot Sqweeks. So he's a scooter. He is able to transform in the Tiny Turbo Changers version. Autobot symbol molded on the back of his wheel well. Got some tires painted on a little bit. Some headlights here painted on. It's got some molded handles. Pretty cool. Awesome. To transform Sqweeks, oh, first we're going to take this look at this. Series 2, Autobot Sqweeks. And here's his transformation scheme. So to transform him, you want to put, it has a peg right there and a peg up here. And you pull these to the side kind of like that. This will flip over like that, and this folds over and becomes his head. See? And you can kind of twist it a little bit, but not really. And then these will revert over on a swivel together and become the front legs. And there is Autobot Sqweeks. Freaking awesome. I was glad to get him. He's not super accurate, but he's super cool. He's only got the same amount of paint. You get the black tires painted, as well as the silver eyes now, which were the headlights. That's what the back of them looks like. Not too good. Doesn't have ball jointed arms or anything. It would have been cool if they had swivel arms, but they don't. Get the Autobot symbol molded on where the black wheel well is now the front of his abdomen. And there's Sqweeks. And just to give you a size comparison, he is quite big compared to the rest. So Megatron is just a slight bit bigger. But yeah, so let's check them all out together. Here are the 6 that I picked up. We got Bumblebee, Shockwave, Drift, Megatron, Cogman, and Sqweeks. So we'll take a quick look at some people think this is gonna go for the masterpiece scale, but we're gonna take a look at that and you can decide. I personally don't think so. But so that's them all together. This is him with Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Get him holding him. So he's a little bit too small because if you remember, Megatron, Sqweeks was about that big to Megatron, so quite a bit smaller. But and this is what he would look like side to side down. So yeah, a little bit too small. But let me know what you think of the review. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe for more toy reviews. And as always, stay awesome, stay subbed, and stay tuned for the next video. That's a wrap. I'm out.